When we configure group policy, the primary thing we will work with are going to be these group policy objects, or GPOs, we always call them. Now, group policy itself is actually an administrative tool. We can configure more than 3,500 settings. So it is an enormous tool. You can use it to enforce various types of settings across user accounts and or across computers, depending on the setting. Some settings will actually directly apply to user accounts. Other settings apply to the actual computer that your user is actually using. Now, what we will do with these GPOs, the most common levels, to apply security settings, that'll be things like password length. We may require that you have a minimum of an 8-character password, and you have to change it every 30 days. We also can use this to manage desktop application settings. We can even use this to deploy applications. We have settings that cover folder redirection, which is pretty common that companies actually use this. This is the ability to take your user profile, and I can have certain directories in your user profile, like your documents folder. I can have that redirected to a share. So anything you ever save to documents is actually mapped out to a shared folder. If you get a different computer or log into a different computer, when you log in, group policy will map your documents folder back to that same location. So you're always going to see the same content in your documents folder. Basically the same as a map network drive, but you can do it with any of your user profile folders. When most people think of group policy, they don't typically think of network settings, but you can use group policy to configure various network settings. I can actually use group policy to limit bandwidth. So if you are going to connect to a server that has videos on it and it streams videos across our network or across a WAN link, I can throttle the amount of bandwidth that you actually use between your computer and the server on the opposite end. So quite a few network settings can be defined through group policy. Now, these are just some of the most common categories, but again, there are more than 3,500 settings by default that we have available in group policy. So it is a very far-reaching tool.